Comments to accesstv@telus.net. We are not shocked.
We have a rather busy schedule this afternoon if everybody who was invited actually shows up. Not the least of which is the City of Vancouver. This is Jessica Chen. Jessica is with the City of Vancouver and is here to inform you and discuss with you the historic area height review that the city is conducting and will be conducting for some time. Jessica will correct me if I'm wrong, but the City of Vancouver, of course, is required to reach out to communities and inform the communities of their staff's plans or what staff anticipates presenting to council and get feedback from the folks in the city. And no one gives feedback better than the residents of the downtown Eastside.
There are two questions being asked very frequently right now by the community, by some council members, as well as many people who care a lot about the downtown Eastside. Saying with all these projects and with this policy work, just seems like so many things are going on in our neighborhood. What is the long-term vision for the downtown Eastside? And there are some people talking about, do we need a local area planning program to develop a downtown Eastside plan? I understand that Strathcona community, just going back to the map here, Strathcona community has developed their vision statement, and organizations like the Carnegie Action Project as well as Lilac, this new coalition, have been working with the low-income residents and other groups in doing a grassroots planning process through visioning and mapping exercise. And also, as I mentioned, Chinatown community has been working in the past 8 years in actually coming up with a common vision, and right now trying to finish their community plan with the planning department. With Gastown Victory Square, with relatively new zoning, right now they are asking questions about some of the impact and implication with now project coming in, looking at whether there's anything needs revision. So planning staff right now have been listening to the community and agree perhaps it's timely to have a program focusing on developing a long-term vision with a community strategy with the downtown Eastside community that will better articulate the interconnectedness of all this work that we are doing. But of course, it will be a very big piece of work, and we will come back to community to talk a lot more with all of you to see what is appropriate and how to move forward on that. So that will be a subject for a later date. Another question a lot of people are asking is how to facilitate developments in a way that benefits the community, because some of us start to see the developments are coming toward closer to the downtown Eastside in the past few years. So it's obviously a very complex question. But with the Woodwards project happened and it's actually being constructed. It will finish by the end of this year. It's a very special project with two towers tower development in the middle of a historic area. One tower is roughly about 400 feet tall, and the other is about 300 feet tall. So at the same time, though, this project is trying to deliver a very rich public benefit type of package, from the social non-market housing to the public space atrium to daycare center, etc. While council and the city has always said the Woodwards project is a very special case and it's not a precedent, because it's very unique and during the circumstance. It's required. It's helpful and deemed good by the community and city at the time to move forward with the project. But this particular project did open up a lot of questions in the community, particularly about the question that I put down here that many people are asking, how can the development be done in a way that can benefit overall community? So, since then, there have been some proposals and ideas being put forward to staff, and some been talking to the community members, and have been talking to City Council about this question that about some of the projects that actually are trying to propose some of the public benefit that might be of interest to the city. So therefore, Council then asked staff the question, in order to support the public benefit like the affordable housing, heritage conservation, or other social and cultural facilities in the downtown Eastside neighborhood, if appropriate, where should additional density and height go? So that is actually the question for today, this discussion on the historic area height review. So just kind of stress that we understand the question of talking about height and density is very complicated. It's very difficult to talk about it without actually talking about then who is going to live there, what kind of land use implication is going to be. So we are trying to, that's why this height review is actually focusing on the historic area where there are a lot of zoning just recently be put in place, fairly up to date. And doesn't mean that nothing can be changed, but it's fairly up to date. And noting that most part of a DEOD, we are going to have to discuss it with, no matter there's a new planning program, or even just in the next year when we start to do DEOD review, a lot of this need to be examined, and that's why the height review is actually focusing on just on the mostly historic area. So that's kind of about why we are doing, just a bit of a context about why we are doing this. And I agree, staff, we should be out talking to different people more frequently, and I'm kind of using the opportunity to talk a little bit about some of the other stuff we do. And today's town hall, and I'm hoping to just mainly talk very briefly about why we're doing it, and also some of the general options being proposed that we are seeking public input and where we are at right now. And I'm hoping that we will have you participate in some of the open houses or the workshop that we have, and where we can get into a lot more detail due to the time constraints.